Hi, honeys. This is part 2 of Power of the Dog. We're picking up right where we left off with Hallie Platz as our guest. Enjoy. Anthrax is so fucking scary. I grew
It's
up
so
in
scary.
like the 9/11 times in New York, and like we had like anthrax fucking threats, and like I just remember it being such a big deal. I was in like junior high when 9/11 happened, and I grew up like 2 hours north of the city.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, so like anthrax was a huge topic of discussion when I was growing up. And this is the first time I've seen it in a movie where it wasn't like modern like terrorism.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, the first time and the second time, look up like what is anthrax and like what does it do, but I'm too scared because I don't want to be on a fucking list.
Well, I didn't know it had a modern connotation. I thought it was, I don't want to be on a list. Oh my God, dead. That's fair. No, that's so real.
Sitting here in North Carolina googling like what does anthrax do and how do you use it and where does it come from? I was like,
I mean,
hell
there
no.
gotta be farms in North Carolina, so you're probably in the clear.
I'm
But
not googling shit. I will just keep it a mystery. I don't know. I forgot
up.
you could catch it from cows or whatever the fuck. I totally
Yeah.
forgot what anthrax really was.
Yeah, if you're not
know
castrating a cow anytime soon and not wearing gloves, I think you're good.
I only know anthrax in the like 9/11 sense. So this was like a mind blower to me to be like, oh yeah, no, it's from like olden days, and it has nothing to do with fucking terrorists. Like that's just my like traumatized New Yorker brain.
Oh no, they they rebranded it in a negative way. They did a terrible rebranding. It was just for idiots doing shit like this on farms.
Yo.
Which, oh my God. Yeah, but it is terrifying because he died
instantly.
Fast.
Instantly.
He probably died in that car when George driving him to the whatever. How I don't want to live somewhere where I'm gonna die and you can't drive me to a doctor real fast.
I used to live somewhere like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that
Upstate
scarred
York,
me
baby.
more than anything. Upstate New York.
I grew up an hour from a hospital, easily an hour.
An hour.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hour.
Terrifying.
You better terrifying. Hope and pray you make it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you imagine back in the day with like no modern medicine? Their asses were just castrating cows left and right.
Yep.
Doing all sorts of crazy ass shit. I mean, granted, Phil was already smearing himself with mud every day, but like that, so that's great. That's real good for your health, homie. But
I can't believe you really did that. That is commitment.
You're an actor, Hallie. Tell us a little bit about like how do you no, I'm serious. Give me your thoughts on this. I feel like it's gotten out of control. Like Jared Leto and all these fucking new wave of like modern actors, like Tom Hardy, like all of this kind of crap.
Fuck it
Either
all.
do it or don't.
Yeah. Just
why do you have to be in character for like 7 months to
like I get
be normal?
Just be normal. It's a job. Like chill. Like
have you ever heard
job.
that Steven Spielberg quote? Like that he's like infamous for like when his actors are like, and what's my motivation and da-da-da, and he's like, just play pretend.
Amen, Stevie. Because
he's like, get the fuck out of my face with this. Like
he's like, I'm worried about the camera panning in the best way ever. Can you guys shut the fuck up? Oh no, and like no, I hate this shit. It honestly it's so funny because I've heard so many behind the scenes things about this movie specifically where he was in the zone the whole time to be just a total dick. And like
dating character this whole shoot.
Character, he never talked to Kirsten Dunst. I actually think that could be helpful. Like that, like keeping I kind of get the boundary of that or whatever, because like if you're gonna be a dick to someone that much, like in terms of your job requires it, like you kind of are embarrassed, so you kind of just want to like you'll meet him later kind of thing.
It certainly helps, but
it's more of an I would be embarrassed, so I'd be like, I'd either want to be their best friend or I'd be like, I'll talk to you in a month. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry in advance. I have to be a total dick to you constantly because you're doing so many takes. But they did so much like improving behind the scenes where they would make up scenes with each other and like Jane would film them and basically say like, look higher into the air and then would like, it was almost like conditioning. Like it's like a weird like you're just in the character for a long period of time, and it's to kind of, it's just to get a consistency going. And I dig that, because that's like that's more in the terms of like, as long as it's under the umbrella of I'm doing a job,
yes,
it's pretty kosher. But like the minute you go into the Jared Leto shit and
oh Lord,
like staying in you have to be called the character, like get the fuck out of here. Like, and it's mostly men, and I was
I'm
just
gonna say it's mostly middle-aged dudes like Sean Penn and like that whole like crop of actors. I'm like,
they
y'all
can't multitask.
Literally
as themselves and someone else. And you're just like, homie, like Cate Blanchett never has to do this shit. Viola Davis never has to do this shit. Like Viola Davis as Amanda Waller in the DC world is my favorite shit ever, because she's doing this, like she's being an asshole, and she just is, and it just is what it is. And it's like, I love when she talks about acting, because it's all about doing a job. But
her and Denzel.
Oh my God,
Denzel is like the anti-method actor. Have you seen his like Gladiator 2 press tour?
What a
oh my
king.
God,
he's in a fuck it zone.
Oh my God, he could not give less of a fuck nowadays. Whenever someone asks him about technique and studying and all of this, and he's like, "What do you mean? I just say my fucking lines, dog. Like it's not."
Yes, I just do my thing, and I'm like,
just
yes,
do my job.
You do my king. Like
it's
I
not
love
that.
you.
It's not that hard.
It isn't that hard. It's only hard in terms of like it's a job, but like it's not hard in terms of like, yeah, like actual turmoil. Hopefully,
Yo,
like I mean,
how Daniel Day-Lewis like,
yeah. Unless you're doing something real deep,
lives in the woods for like
dark.
a year with no phone, like cobbling shoes. I'm like, nigga,
can't do that.
Please,
no, fuck that shit. Homie, get out of here with that. Like, but this is like
Go
a weird
home.
balance of, I kind of dig it, but at the same time, like, he's a cool guy. He's a very chill guy in real life. So like, he appears to me to be in the clear with the method acting bullshit.
Right. He doesn't take it too crazy. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. And like, but I love what everyone's doing in this, and I think the time they spent like getting filmed as their character was well worth it, because you just feel like a real lived-in sense of everything. Like even the servants, and that girl is famous, the young girl, I forgot her name. Thomasin McKenzie. 100%. Like she's famous, and she's just this little servant who like comes in. And then the older servant is a Jane Campion like go-to. She was in her like first movie. Jane spent time with those two talking, and I just like I can see the work that went into all that, and that's really sick.
It's very natural feeling, which I love.
Yeah, Jane is all about like woo-woo too. She did like dream therapy and shit with this, and it's like so
Hell
funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure you did, Jane. Sure, that's too far for me. Like,
so she got into the weird shit. I see.
If Jane tells me to go to dream therapy ever, and she's like, I just had visions of horses, I'll go to dream therapy. But I ain't doing that on my own.
Yeah, I would do it. If she asked me to, probably.
100%.
I mean, what if she's right? You know,
what if Jane's right is the thing. That's the question.
How about you, Lindsay? What were some of your favorite scenes that you'd like to throw out? There's a couple big ones we haven't talked about yet. If you want to hit those.
The scarf scene.
Oh my God.
I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah,
so
I actually
beautiful.
Agree.
Have you guys seen how like the best type of porn is only like two gay men type of porn?
I love this question.
I didn't know that's where you were going, but I'm with you on this journey.
I was a little like, I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna say it. But
say
so
it.
like,
Fuck it. I'm leaving
it's
this in.
the only type of like sex where like pleasure is prioritized, because there's like the absence of like the objectification of woman. Like the scene was just purely based on like the sensory experience and like the pleasure of everything.
Ooh.
It made me really like film a lot more.
I agree.
It's definitely his most tender moment by far. Super, super, super tender. Another one that ties into that is when he's rubbing down the saddle.
100%.
It's that same. I put this later on in the doc, but yeah, Jane shot this movie very it's very sensual.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, very sensual.
I
Beautiful.
love texture and the touch aspect. There's so, I mean, flowers, like there's so many sensory aspects to everything. I love that. My neurodivergent ass loves this shit. So I was like, hell yeah.
It's sensual. It's tactile.
Oh yeah, you put that on your face, homie. Like you put that handkerchief all over your face. I'm being a goof, but I loved it.
In the middle of the forest. Yeah, it was beautiful.
In the middle of the forest, absolute. Like he's having sex with Bronco. In that moment.
Oh yeah, in his mind, yeah, he's back.
I loved his connection to nature, and especially when Peter kind of like infiltrated that.
Absolutely,
he's like,
get out of here, you bitch. He calls him a bitch.
He called him a bitch. That's right. Yeah, that's rich coming from you, but okay.
Oh my god, nakedly chasing him. I was like, is he gonna kill him? I thought he was gonna kill him. I was like, oh my god. It is. It's so sad. Like that's when the Brokeback Mountain stuff I feel like is kind of really in there. Is like
super,
it's mourning,
super, prominent.
What you are, or who you are, or what you love, and who you love. Like, and it's almost ritualistic in its
Oh my
action.
god, yeah! Isn't there a similar scene in Brokeback with like an item of clothing, the shirt?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely fucking right. Oh my god, holy shit! I love connecting dots.
There it is.
There it is. Oh my god. No, exactly.
Yep. And he's like sniffing the shirt and like holding it to his face in that same way and like crying. Yeah. Woo!
And you imagine that handkerchief, not to go, but we're going there. The sensory aspect. It's like you imagine he smells like Bronco Henry.
Yeah.
I thought about that this watch where I was like, does it smell like Bronco? Or did you ruin it by making yourself stink? But I imagine it smells like him. So it's like, and apparently smell is the most powerful scent because it unlocks memories the fastest, according to studies. I'm a nerd. But I love
You're in the right place.
Whoa! I agree that it's beautiful. Like
it's gorgeous.
I make jokes about this movie and stuff, but like at the end of the day, he just misses his first love.
Yeah.
Which is so sad because knowing what we know, we're like, he was not good for you, homie. Like he's a bad guy. And then, but you're like, Jane Campion says like she just imagines Phil and Bronco having like a wonderful affair across the mountains, or like, or no, maybe it's him and Peter like living happily ever after. And I'm like, oh Jane, you have to think that you're the director of this movie. We all know that's toxic as fuck. Like,
yeah.
Problematic, but like, yeah, I love that it made you like Phil more because I think that's he's so vulnerable. Like you can't hate someone you're watching be so vulnerable in a movie.
Yeah, agreed.
Beautiful. Yeah.
What other scenes, Lindsay? There's one big one that I want to talk about. The piano scene. I
loved how awkward it was. How she just has to pretend that she's like, oh, I can't. I've been playing all day. Yeah, it was tough. It was really awkward. I felt it. I felt how awkward she was.
The like performance anxiety, and she's so stressed out and so embarrassed, and Phil is just like smugly fucking jabbing at her like the whole time. I was like, Phil, stop.
Whistling the song she sucked at.
Supposed to play. Oh my god.
Piece of shit.
Maniac. Oh, I felt so bad for Rose in that scene. Yeah, it's painful. I feel like this happens in like a lot of movies I love. I don't know what that says about me, but there's always a scene in a lot of movies I love where someone is just fucking up at something so badly and like embarrassing the fuck out of themselves and like just humiliating themselves or being humiliated.
Oh yeah.
That I don't know. I always gravitate towards stuff like that. I feel like it's very prevalent in like PTA's movies.
Oh, big time.
Woo! Like
I love
when
PTA.
yes, me too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we should have you back on for some PTA movies.
Oh my god, twist my arm.
The way Rose, how her anxiety took over, that is literally me. Anytime I have to like
I'm so sorry.
be in like social settings. Oh my god. I was like, yeah, I understand exactly what she's feeling.
Aw,
like
Lindsay.
the truly not being able to like be mobile and like do anything.
No, I felt her panic attack so hard. Like I feel that. Mm-hmm. Wait, have you ever? So wait, why do you like Phil? Because he fully like abused the shit out of her.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, I don't like Phil, but I understand why he is the way he is, and I think because of that, I like him.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No,
like,
totally.
He's such an asshole. He's such an awful person, but there's such reason to it.
Yeah. My God, she tries to talk to him one time. He just goes, "I'm not your brother."
Also, though, I understand why he was so upset because, I mean, George was like, "Hey, I'm married now. There's this family's moving into our house."
100%.
And Phil was just like, thanks for telling me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, because I don't. George is to blame, honestly, for a lot of the shit.
100%.
Yeah,
like he's not. Like, I think I don't remember which one of you spoke on that. I think it was you, Lindsay, but George does not come away from this scot-free whatsoever.
I don't really think it really had anything to do with how Phil viewed Rose, but I think it was just how angry Phil was with George.
Oh, yeah.
And he was, like, using her to get back at his brother. That's a really good point. Really good point, Lindsay. It's the triangulation.
Do you think he was trying to kill her? Not in a targeted way, but kind of either because she couldn't have really divorced him. I mean, when I guess what I'm trying to say is like when the alcoholism got bad, do you think he was like just keeping on trying to trigger her till she like died?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
Because the implication is that Peter saved her life. And the implication at the end with them, spoiler alert, I guess, but with them kissing. So that last shot which is a fantastic last shot, of her and George kissing, which back in the day would have actually, I mean, they think they're alone, so it's fine. But them like falling into each other's arms kissing is actually quite not common for public or even like outside of their house, I suppose, or even their bedroom like behavior. So them like falling into each other's arms and kissing, I got the impression they're like, we're alive now. We can live now. We can breathe now. And it's like, you kind of get this idea that like now that he's gone, she can get better. So she would have died if he stuck around.
I think you're right, Hallie. Yeah, it was very celebratory. And I hadn't put it together that it was because she was drinking herself to death.
Because she's like passed out with the glove scene, which love that she gets gloves and then Phil doesn't wear gloves and then he dies, she lives. Like that. The glove thing. That's just literary deliciousness. Like that's just good writing. But so that happened. She's like she's in bed, sick, and then he kills Phil. Lulz. Phil gets anthrax, and then the rest is that's when time is a little confusing on how quick everything happened, but you think it's in a week because of a funeral situation. But like the interpretation I'd always heard was she was going to die, but I wondered if he was like trying to kill her. It's not funny.
What Phil's it's a good question
wild
to put forth. I wonder what Phil's intention was. Yeah. What do you think, Lindsay?
Well, I think he was, I don't know, so in his own apathy that he didn't really care. He's like, well, I look what I'm struggling with. I don't care about what you're struggling with.
That's so That's brilliant. You're brilliant.
I like that.
Yeah. He's so in his own thing and mourning and like,
yeah, I think
bitchiness.
it's probably it's just entertaining to him, I think.
Yeah.
Misery loves company.
Misery loves company. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so true. Oh my God, that's so brilliant.
Yeah, I'd never thought of it like that, but I think you're onto something, Lindsay.
You definitely, yeah, for fucking sure. Like, crazy.
So what were our favorite performances? We're all going to pick different ones just so we can throw the shine around, but mine is obviously Kirsten Dunst. I've loved her since I was like 6 years old. I saw her in Interview with the Vampire when I was a little kid. Yeah. Oh, I've loved her since I was in like first grade. She's always been my girl. And you know what? It's been like 30 years. She's never let me down once. Never once. She's one of my favorite actresses of all time. She you'll love this, Hallie. I have I keep a list. Maybe I'll drop it in the show notes actually. I have a list of favorite white ladies.
Who's your number one?
Princess Diana.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Period.
Period.
But Kirsten Dunst is like, I think she's number 2.
Kirsten Dunst is number 2 after Princess Diana. That rocks. Wow.
I love her so much. Unproblematic queen.
It's true. Oh my God. She'd just be
acting in her movies, smoking her cigarettes, hanging out with Jesse Plemons, living her life. That's all she does.
I need this list so Kirsten Dunst rocks. Yeah. She was my Mary Jane.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
That's how I got introduced to her at the mere age of 5 or 6.
Yes.
Yeah, and well, okay, Jumanji, because we forget.
True.
And Little Women. Anybody?
Yes.
Oh my God, my Amy.
I think that came out the same year as Interview with the Vampire. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That 94.
I grew up with.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I grew up with both child and teenager Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Like it was so funny to like.
I was obsessed with Bring It On too. So
I missed Bring It On, but I watched it later.
That was like my first Bring It On. I think my first seeing of her, but I so love that she never fixed her teeth.
Never.
She never fixed her teeth. I love it.
No plastic surgery, kept her teeth.
And
she
she's
looks
also
amazing
aged
too.
like very naturally.
Oh yeah.
I love her too.
Yeah, she's
so young still. Like because she's been in our lives. She seems
since she was like 5.
Yeah. But she's like 38.
Yeah, I think she's in her late. I think she's like 2 years older than me. She's probably like 39, 40.
Yeah. So she's young as hell.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever seen Like Mike?
Yes.
No.
Jesse Plemons is the bully, the child bully in Like Mike.
Oh my God.
I'm dead.
I've actually been wanting to watch Like Mike for a while now. I keep thinking about it.
Fun fact, Kirsten Dunst goes, or they ask Kirsten Dunst, what's your favorite Jesse Plemons movie? And she goes, Like Mike, obviously.
What so unserious.
She's so cool.
Wait.
My God, I love her.
Not to go too much on a tangent, but have you guys seen the interview that was this year, or it was in the Power of the Dog year, where it was her and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga was it for House of Gucci. And Lady Gaga goes, have you ever, they were talking about like being drunk or something, like being drunk on screen. And Lady Gaga goes, have you ever taken a sip of like your prop wine and felt drunk? And Kirsten Dunst just goes, no, I haven't. Not me. And I'm just like, I'm in tears thinking about it. It's so funny because she just goes,
yo,
I just spun in 5 circles.
She is so funny.
She's like, serious.
She's very like naturally funny.
Oh my God. She's just a normal
gifted
bitch.
Yeah, she's a very gifted comedian as well. Like she knows how to play sad, serious, and funny interchangeably, like on at the drop of a hat. She's incredible. Her and Jesse's season of Fargo.
Oh, Fargo, yes.
Top-notch TV. One of my favorite seasons of television ever made.
I need to rewatch it.
I think it's Fargo season 2, and Kieran Culkin is on there as well.
Our boy. He might win an Oscar.
Our number one boy.
Number one. Yeah. Number one Culkin. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
No, don't ever say that.
No, I would never. I don't mean it.
Mac is listening.
Yeah, sorry.
What about you, Lindsay? Who's your favorite performer?
I don't really want to pick a favorite from like any of the main actors. I did really like seeing Thomasin McKenzie playing Lola.
Love.
Who we know from Eileen.
Yeah.
Eileen.
Amongst other things. Yes. We saw Eileen together. We saw Eileen together at the Alamo.
I missed Eileen.
We thought we were getting some like super gay Anne Hathaway realness.
Of course.
Not worth it.
Oh no. Oh.
Super disappointing.
Oh, that sucks.
It was another like of the year
queerbaiting.
Yeah.
Oh, boo. Hate that. So now I'm boycotting.
It was such a bummer. It was right after we had seen Saltburn too, I think. It was just like back to back to back, like, oh, this movie's going to be super gay. And then I'm like, no, it isn't.
And then Saltburn, you were like, what was that sexuality? That's not on the rainbow.
That's not even exactly what part of the rainbow was.
It's in the negative coloration of the rainbow.
Don't even get me fucking started. I feel like we slander Saltburn in like every episode, and we're going to continue to do so. So
I had a good time watching it, but I was pissed.
Exactly.
It's the bad version of this movie where they're like, look, everything was adding up. And you're like, fuck no, it was not. So many loopholes.
This is the bad version. It's also the bad version of Talented Mr. Ripley. Like, please.
It is the bad version of Ripley. 100%.
Get out of my face.
When I realized Ripley was a movie, because I did not know it was a movie until after Saltburn. I was like, they just recycled. Like, this is stupid.
It's, I can't even get into it.
Terrible.
And what about you, Hallie? Who was your favorite performer?
It's hard to say. Jesse Plemons has my favorite acting moment. With him, with the tear that he sheds on the mountaintop.
Beautiful.
But I think Cody Smith-McPhee to nail the ambiguity of a potential sociopath, but also like the queerness and the, again, like maybe I'm projecting, but like the potential neurodivergence, and also like he just is this kid, but he also, if you hear him talk outside of it, he's really not like he is putting on a character. It's just kind of incredible. I mean, he makes you believe when he's awkward and when he's cool.
Yeah, exactly. He's very good at both.
I'm like, how the fuck?
That's a good point.
Like,
he can turn it on and off.
He can turn it on and off.
Super, he's super like confident and like bone chilling, and then he's also like this goofy goober. Like,
it's such good work. You're just like, how did you do that? Like, what did Jane work with him on? What did he do? Like, and I don't think
I would love
clear.
to know his process.
And so it's like, I just think he's an interesting guy anyway. Like, where I'm just like, you're not, all due respect, but you're not like fucking Austin Butler, who I love. But it's like, again, who I love. But like, you're a
shots
which
fired.
I really no. I really love him.
I love Austin Butler too. But yeah, we have been making fun. We've definitely mentioned. I think we've mentioned the Elvis accent before. Like that's
Oh gosh,
that lost him the Oscar.
100%. Jinx.
I was pro Brendan. I gotta admit, even though the whale sucks, I was pro Brendan Fraser because he made that script good, and that's hard to do. And that's such shots fired. I'm sorry.
No, listen, this is the place for hot takes. Listen, we accept you.
He blew my mind, but
he's excellent.
It's so good. He deserved that like hell.
He's terrifying in this movie. Like he's
he's
so unsettling.
He's hot. He's creepy.
Yes,
he's
my favorite
violent.
combo.
Oh yeah, love. And he's like soft and vulnerable and it's just amazing. I'm like, how did you find this kid to do
big
this?
Big Scorpio energy. Yeah.
Big Scorpio. Big. I hope all my Scorpio friends are listening to this right now.
Same. Hi, Victoria.
I have too many to name. I can't. My
sister is also a Scorpio.
Oh, I love it. Come on. Well, my sister's a Libra, and she's gonna hate that I just said George is a Libra.
Well, you know,
it doesn't matter.
She knows. Reflecting.
She knows. She fully backs out of confrontation, and she's like,
well, I don't know. What do you want me to do? literally anything.
It's like, peace out. And I'm like, no, you don't get to peace out. And
Bitch.
it's so crazy.
Yeah, not you leaving everybody hanging all the time.
Yeah,
Pisses
for
me
real.
off.
Crazy. But he's my number one for sure.
Perfect. Yeah. I like that none of us picked, you know what? None of us picked Benedict Cumberbatch, even though he's the lead of the movie.
I know.
I'd say his performance is great.
Great.
I don't dislike it at all.
I knew he could do that. I didn't know this guy. Like, I didn't know Cody. So that always gives a little bit of extra points for me. For sure.
I think this is one of the first times I've seen him, if not the first time.
I think he's Paranorman. Have you guys ever seen Paranorman?
Oh my god, I love Paranorman.
I think he's so Paranorman, funny. Which is great.
Aww.
He's a precious little soul. And then if you guys saw Memoir of a Snail this year, he's the twin.
So he does a lot of voice work, huh?
Well, apparently, I guess, but he's gotta pop back up in some big movies coming up because
where's he been?
I don't know. He got that Oscar nomination and said, and wore one earring and said, "I'm out of here."
His red carpet fit was iconic.
My bisexuality was on flames.
Activated. Love it.
Flaming. Screaming.
Yo. Speaking of casting,
so excited.
Hallie had suggested as like a fun exercise, Lindsay, that we kind of fan cast Bronco Henry based off of the way that he's spoken about in the movie. Like, if we were to cast him with a current actor and place him in this movie in like a flashback or a picture, what have you.
I've talked about this with numerous friends.
This actually came to me pretty easily because of who he is and how he be. Also, I had The Last of Us kind of fresh.
Love it.
how he be. I had The Last of Us kind of fresh in my mind as well. So I cast Nick Offerman as Bronco Henry.
He knows how to do everything. He's Ron Swanson.
He's literally Ron Swanson. He
jumped a horse over a horse.
He could jump a horse. You know what? He could build a fucking house. He literally, he can do. Just think of Nick Offerman in this movie with like a mustache and some flannel, bitch. Woo! He would eat this up.
He's teaching all the cowboys what's the pyramid in Parks and Rec? The Pyramid of Greatness, but it's the cowboys and Power of the Dog. Capitalism. And everybody's just like, God, this man. He just...
Yo.
I will say Nick Offerman is sure as hell the unproblematic Bronco Henry to my partner. He's
Swanson
like, God, that's
pyramid.
A man.
Yeah, isn't he? Oh, he's such a man.
Such a real man.
The Swanson Pyramid of Greatness. Yeah. Nick Offerman, 100%. He looks like he belongs in a Western already. Just
absolutely
a little dirtier, a little longer hair. I wonder if he's ever done. I bet you he's been on like Deadwood or something. There's no way he hasn't been in a Western. But that was my pick. It up. Yeah, that was my pick because he's so rugged and handsome.
Yeah, like, big mustache.
Big ass mustache. He's like the right age. He would have been 50 at the time of them shooting. It's Nick Offerman for me. What about you, Lindsay?
Well, I guess if I had to choose someone that fit the bill now, I really like Sam Elliott, only because I like seeing him as cowboys.
Yes.
Oh.
But I also would love Robert Redford.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Well, yeah, if we're going classic, yeah.
Robert Redford is such a good choice. And Sam Elliott is someone who I believe a lot of my friends said too. Which is amazing.
Who else did your friends call out?
I think we talked about Matt Damon.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Maybe that's the whole Ripley effect. I think
for sure.
I did not think Damon had the you could jump a horse over a horse kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Maybe modern Damon. He's in his like late 40s, early 50s now. He's getting kind of. He's in that he's the right age.
He is the right age now for sure.
He's in the elder years of his career.
He's gonna be Nolan's new joint.
He's too cheeky.
Yes.
He's very cheeky. Yeah, he has a baby face. He did play a hot cowboy in True Grit.
Yes.
He
Yes,
sure
he
as
did.
hell did that, and that was hot. Even though
Yep.
he's kind of a creep in that. He
Yep.
kind of Bronco Henry's in that, actually. That's funny.
Oh boy.
We talked about... Who did we talk about? We talked about Tom Hardy.
Oh, I could see
He's rugged. But I was on the subway in New York, and a guy came up to me because I was talking to a friend, and he said, "I'm so glad you just said this." So shout out to that for sure gay guy on the Upper West Side who understood me. But Matthew McConaughey is my
duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
That's easy.
Oh my god. What are we? Yeah.
Game over. What are we even talking about?
Damn, Hallie, you just ate us up.
No, that's just I just hear him talking about anything. Like Lincoln, like these Lincoln commercials. And then fucking Benedict Cumberbatch just being front row seated, being like, "Yes, sir."
I would
talk about that Lincoln.
I would fold like laundry, bitch. Instantly.
I
Those
mean,
cheekbones. Oh my god, Matthew McConaughey.
He can. The Cowboys will listen to Matthew. You know,
yeah.
It's like,
they will
listen,
pull.
And that man is skinny. Ish.
He's rugged. He's hot. He's from Texas. He's got that natural
he's got the bullshit
cowboy. Yeah.
He's got that bullshit cowboy accent. I say that as a Texan.
All right.
Oh my god. Just him and... Can you imagine Bronco Henry, but Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused?
Like, oh my god. Again, hey, listen.
I do my thing, I do my thing.
That's part of his character. Again, kind of groomer weirdo. Yep.
The fucking big ass. Okay, so we're all in agreement that he's got to have a mustache. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like Phil is a mustache guy.
He's got the stubble.
I think he likes a mustache.
I could see that. I could see Phil being a full on into a stash situation.
Yes.
Also, Phil's a full on bottom. We all
100%.
100%.
If we're doing position politics, I would say Phil strikes me as
that handkerchief was on top of his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm being goofy, but I mean it. I'm a goof, but I was like thinking about him like, oh, he's a full on. He's such a backed up bottom.
He he submitted to Peter so fast.
Oh my god, yes.
Fast. Peter was nice to him one time, and he was like, he was like,
me.
Oh my god, that was so nice of you. I was like, Phil, stand up.
Oh my god.
Hallie is literally on the floor.
I fell. Peter was nice to you one time, bitch.
One time.
He showed
stand
him
up.
The barking dog.
Oh my god.
Or the barking wolf.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see it the first time? I did not.
No. Nope.
No.
I actually didn't. I usually do see
on the level.
shapes and stuff like that in like everyday things, but this one, no, I did not.
Second time, did you see it?
No.
When he calls it out? Oh, nope. That blew my brains out.
I saw it the second time.
Second time I saw it immediately, and I was like, Jane Campion, how the fuck did you do that? Like,
I didn't see
focusing your eye
either time.
It is
and
weird.
I'm from the mountains. I don't know. I just didn't see it.
I'll do one of those things where you do an outline of it. I'll
send it my way.
This is the gay dog. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's got its mouth open. This is the power
of the dog.
Because it looks like a wolf. I agree.
Okay.
Like it looks like a wolf because it's got its profile, and it's got and it's a full body with its mouth clearly open. It's wild. But
it's full body? Okay, maybe that's why I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I was looking for just the head. Okay.
100%. It's not immediate when you... And a barking dog is so specific. Mm-hmm. That's too specific. Like, all right, okay. Peter. But that's literary stuff. But it looks... I agree with you, Lindsay. It looks like a wolf. But I just... Yeah, he freaks out. He goes, the hell are you saying?
He's like, you saw that?
You saw that? You just saw that? So funny.
Oh my God, he was
folded
done
instantly.
Folded. And then he gave him the cigarette. When he gave him the cigarette, I was like, "You're a bottom." That's when I really knew.
He was like, "Oh."
Do you guys
was into it?
What do y'all think about Bronco Henry just full on writing full first and last name on that porn?
Oh yeah, what? Why would you do?
That's bold.
Ballsy,
bold ass move.
He's like, yeah, this is mine. What of it?
This is my gay ass porn.
Yeah.
What of it?
What are you gonna do?
I couldn't believe. That's an idiot.
He's like, belongs to Bronco Henry. I was like, yo.
That's how you know this man was 50, because he was an idiot. He was not a wise old gay.
Right.
He was a young idiot. It's crazy though that how did Phil get that is the real question. Like, he must have gotten passed down to him or something.
He probably, I mean, did they ever talk about how Henry died?
They never say.
So my guess is that whenever Bronco Henry passed away, Phil immediately went and collected all his shit. He had all his stuff. He had his fucking saddle. He had his clothes.
He had it all.
He had his porn. He had all of his stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, widow.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 100%.
He took all his things. I was like, damn.
Oh my God.
But I was so curious as to how he passed away, but they never
too.
say. I love the mystery.
They never say.
Though.
I assume he fell off a horse, or like he like got kicked in the, like, sorry, not to get violent, but like there's just like he was doing all this dumbass shit. And then, so I assume it was a sudden death. 50 doesn't seem so old for back then to die. Like, I think you would have lived 10 more years, maybe 15.
Yeah, maybe. This is early 20s. It's not like, people were dying at 30, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's an older cowboy in the mix. Like, there's a...
Yes.
And so he's definitely older than 50. First off, I think he's seen some shit. I think he saw Phil and Bronco fucking... because he always has his head down.
Mm-hmm. Do you think perfect. I'm glad you brought this up. Do you think that everyone in the crew like knew about Phil, or how were you interpreting the way they acted around him? I felt like some of them knew.
Really? Oh, I don't think any. I think they're all kind of dumb.
Huh?
I don't think they knew.
No.
If they knew, they wouldn't work for him. In my.
Oh, true.
That would be my thinking. But
true.
I think the old one knows. Actually, funny enough that you say this, because there's like, it's so interesting, the casting of the cowboys. There's like, there's like a guy with glasses, hilarious, because he's hot. Yep. Clearly hot. And then there's like a lot of young guys. And then there's like, the one old one who's still doing it. And like, I think the old one knows, because there's actually a really funny... I've seen this movie way too many times. So there's a cutaway when he does the like, to the wolf that raised us, like in the bar, and it cuts to the old cowboy who just kind of like quietly takes the shot.
Here we go again.
It's like, God damn it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I think he knows they be fucking.
They be fucking.
I think George for sure knew. Yeah. And then I think none of the other guys know, because they all like treat him like they all like are like Team
macho.
Phil and macho. And I don't think if they knew he was gay that they would do it. I think they'd like kill him, honestly.
That's fair. That's super fair. Any fun facts about this movie? Did you have any? I'm sure you know a lot about this movie, so I will cede the floor to you, Hallie.
That's very nice of you. Well, for sure, Jonny Greenwood, legend in the game, Radiohead, love him.
My favorite.
He did this and Licorice Pizza that year, my two number ones, actually. He did like a little bit of Licorice Pizza. Same year. I just love the guitar. It sounds like the banjo, but it's also super like unnerving. Very sensory, like too. Like you were saying. You know what that is?
It's a cello.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's a cello that he's plucking like a banjo.
He's not plucking a fucking guitar. He's plucking
a cello.
Holy shit!
He's a fucking genius, Hallie.
What a fucking man. Like, what a guy.
He's the best. The There Will Be Blood soundtrack is my favorite movie soundtrack of all time. And between this and Phantom Thread and Spencer, like back to back to back to back, that man is cooking. And Radiohead is one of my favorite bands. But yeah, I had to dig a little deep to find this because I was so curious about the sound of the music, and I knew it was Jonny right away because it pings There Will Be Blood instantly. As soon as you hear it, you're like, oh, I know what this is. And I found out that I don't know if it was all of the music, but the majority of the music, it's not a guitar, it's a cello.
Oh my God.
And he's plucking it like a maniac. I was like, how the fuck do you even think to do that?
That guy just is 3 steps ahead of everybody, like 10,000
at all times,
maybe 10,000. Like,
at all times.
I like, love the
pure
music.
Genius.
I'm obsessed. I love it keeps you going, like the forwards your momentum. I love all the random songs that are like clearly old folk songs or country. That's 100% what they're, but they're just like super horny.
Yeah.
Like it's everywhere. I've kind of already mentioned the big parts of the score that I love, like when the piano keys start coming in and it sounds like he just ran his fingers over it a whole bunch.
He probably did.
He probably fucking did. When Rose goes after the Native American folks and like that whole that is just, it sounds like nails on a chalkboard kind of, because it is.
Yes.
And
it also sounded like the speaking of a sound design effect that I love, it also sounded like that goddamn comb.
Oh my God.
The goddamn
that shit was activating my misophonia so bad. When Rose was like, you have to fucking stop doing that. It's driving me crazy. I was like, period.
Like a stem.
I feel the same way.
He was just stemming.
Oh, for sure. But it was
so
fucking annoying.
It was 100% a stem. I didn't know that word in 2021. It was 100% a stemming.
Yeah. I was like, you need to do that somewhere else. Get the fuck away from me because you're driving me insane. Like nails on the teeth of the comb. I was like, it was driving me nuts. The music sounded like that comb.
Exactly.
And I wonder if Jonny did that on purpose. If like he,
I bet.
Yeah, he probably did.
I bet. I love it. The comb and the ending, he had to nail that ending. And it's so funny that it kind of, the tone of the music at the end is like happy, even though he like puts the rope under his bed, which is like really sad. Because you're kind of like, he's going to keep Phil with him. And I'm like, don't keep Phil with you. Don't do what Phil did. And
was that the moment that you were going to call out earlier for like the serial killer? That was, yes.
That's, don't keep the rope.
Keeping a little keepsake of the person you killed. I was like, yeah, that was what I was, serial killer energy. Yep.
I had faith in his, I had faith in him to not go there until he kept it under his bed, and I was like, "Homie, that's the murder
collection
weapon
going." Yeah. It's the cutting open animals. It's
what if someone touches that? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like crazy.
The rope imagery and the glove imagery in this movie is so I love the way she plays with those images and the connections between the characters. They both die by a rope.
Yeah.
But in different ways.
100%.
And Rose lives, or not lives, but Rose wears the gloves and
lives.
Phil and Phil doesn't, and he dies. Yeah, it's really rich imagery.
So
I
good.
love that.
Almost masculine and femininity. If you want to go there, like there could be
the rope and the gloves are so soft.
Yeah.
And the rope is so rugged. Ooh, Hallie, I like that.
I'm a nerd. I love this stuff.
I like that.
Love
again,
bullets.
like you said, playing with texture.
Texture. Love texture.
So
I'm gonna look that up.
Hell yeah. Another fun fact I found was that this book it was written in 1967. It had been optioned 5 times before it finally was adapted into a movie. Like, I don't know I couldn't find any real reason why. I don't know if it's because 5 times. before it got turned into a movie. And Jane didn't start working on it until like 2017, 2018. So from 1967 until Jane Campion got the rights to it, like nothing happened with this book. And I'm just so curious why. I just thought that was interesting that it took so long.
It is. I know it was like some Canadian actor loved it. And so they like put it on a shelf for forever. Paul Newman was actually gonna play Phil at one point. I think I heard.
Stop. Oh my
which
God.
would have fucking slayed.
Woo! I wouldn't want to see Paul being mean like that though, but yeah. I get it.
Yeah. It's
I'd rather him be Phil than George, I guess.
Yeah. He's too cool to be George. George has to be kind of lame.
Yeah. Yeah, George is kind of a weenie.
He's a weenie. He's so cute though. I think he's cute. But yeah, wow. 5 times. And they
5 times.
You know what? I think Brokeback probably pushed open a door for it to like for them to go there.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I did have a feeling maybe it was because of the queerness of the story and how like disturbing it is and how it's not like a feel good neat and clean and happy-go-lucky. It's not very straightforward, which I love. I love mystery. I love nuance. I love that all 3 of us are seeing and feeling different things, but general audiences do not like that.
No, this got popular because of gay Twitter, which I really love. Like
100%. And TikTok, yes.
And TikTok found this?
Oh yeah, this was rolling around on TikTok.
Good for.
I think especially Cody because he was, like the younger cast member, and yeah.
Because twinks are back this year with Timothée Chalamet, Adrian Brody.
Yep.
Cody Smith McPhee is my. I think he's got to be number 2. Chalamet is still my number 1.
Yeah, Timmy's my number 1 as well.
Timmy is just
what a
great twink. What a great twink he is.
He's perfect.
Oh my God.
And something else I found out was that originally, now this is interesting. This casting, tell me if either of y'all fuck with this. There's something there, but I'm happy with the choices that were eventually made. But originally, Rose was supposed to be played by Elizabeth Moss from Mad Men and The Handmaid's Tale. And George was supposed to be, and George was supposed to be played by Paul Dano, which again would have been a super overt "There Will Be Blood" connection.
Oh yeah,
he had to drop out because of the Batman.
No way! Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's when Jesse Plemons stepped back in to play George. But yeah, it wasn't supposed to be Kirsten or Jesse in this movie originally. Wow. How do you feel about that?
Like the chemistry is so perfect with Jesse and Kirsten.
I think so too. It would have been very different. I like Dano. I think that's interesting, but I don't know if I would feel as it's not her fault, but I don't think I would feel as sympathetic towards Rose if it was Elizabeth Moss.
I agree with you.
I like Kirsten more as an actress. I like Elizabeth, but
there's something a little.
Kirsten
I don't want to say
the
vacant.
First Elizabeth. Yeah. I don't disagree.
Okay.
It's almost like Kirsten was the first Elizabeth. Like Kirsten kind of is playing Elizabeth Moss type parts in like Eternal Sunshine.
Literally, yes. She was Elizabeth like, before. Mm-hmm.
She's the OG, so it's like, why not just go with the OG?
Elizabeth Moss. Ooh, I like that.
But I have heard that Elizabeth Moss is really good in, I think it's called Top of the Lake. It's like the Jane Campion. It's another murder mystery.
Oh, right. It's her TV series.
Her TV series, yes. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's the best Australian accent that an American has done.
Interesting.
So that's cool. Okay. But
maybe
Paul
that's
Dano,
how she got cast in this.
I like Paul Dano a lot, but I think there's something about Jesse Plemons where, like, when he puts the napkin over his arm to, like, become the servant for, first off, super smooth. That man, I was like, okay, you do fuck. That's cool. But I was like, all right, you got some riz. But he puts the thing over his over. He puts the tablecloth over his arm to go out and wait on everybody, and then shakes their hands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have gotten that same like, oh, this is a man of great importance kind of vibes from Paul Dano. Like,
ooh, I have to agree with you. Yeah, I think Dano just has such a different. He has such a different energy. And I think honestly, it would be a little bit too close to his role in There'll Be Blood, as far as like, not specifically Eli, but his twin, the like quiet, passive kind of like.
Oh right. Oh my god.
He plays twins in that movie.
I forgot he's twins in that movie.
But I can't remember the other twin's name, but the like quiet, passive kind of background twin. I feel like it's a little, the vibes are already very There'll Be Blood-ish. I just think swapping out Dano was the right move, because on top of the Jonny Greenwood music, and it's the same setting, it's around the same time period, and having the same actor, I think it kind of would have hurt this movie as far as audience perception. I think it would have been seen as kind of a ripoff, even though it's completely not, and it was written before,
100%.
100%. I think it would have come off completely different. So I'm glad they swapped that out. I just thought that was so interesting, that original casting.
I think the character of George is kind of golden retriever.
Hold it.
And
100%.
I don't think Paul Dano could really encompass what Jesse Plemons did.
Yeah, very different vibes, very different actor. I mean, they are contemporaries, but they just have such different energy.
He almost gives me more Peter vibes than George.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the Riddler of it all.
Paul, for sure.
Paul.
No, definitely.
Maybe it's the Eli Riddler combination, and
it's Eli, it's the Riddler, it's
Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine.
I just think to not dress Phil in any of his cowboy wear was very disrespectful to me.
I was wondering what you meant by this. Okay, you meant that because he wasn't in his like dirty, stanky Western wear.
Yeah, or like bathing him and like combing his hair back. Like, that's not who he was. That's so.
Yeah, but he needed a bath, Lindsay.
You're so right. It's so disrespectful.
It's so disrespectful. Like, how
they did
dare
that
you?
On purpose.
Yeah, they hated him.
Well, yeah, that's true. They did hate him, but
holy shit.
They also probably wanted, I don't know, especially George. He was very into like appearances. I feel like George probably wouldn't want his brother looking, grimy.
I'm sure it was also customary for people to be buried like that, but still, like, disrespect.
Totally. I've never thought of this. You're so right.
They dressed him up and did his hair, and Lindsay's like, put it back.
Yeah, he would.
Like, where's the tousled, dirty? Where's his cowboy hat?
Where's his mud?
He would have probably wanted to just be buried with mud on him.
And Bronco Henry's scarf.
He's the epitome of like, throw my ashes in a lake.
Oh, for sure.
Or in the mountains or something. Oh, that's in Brokeback Mountain. Oh shit, that's sad. Because he says he wants his ashes spread on Brokeback.
Yes.
But yeah, that's rude. That's because they hated
him. They hated him.
They hated the shit out of him.
And that was his family.
We're gonna shape you. Yeah.
They sure did.
He's very hot though, I must say.
When he's like finally cleaned up. Yeah.
I like the tousled hair. I totally agree with that. But when maybe it was the suit, or maybe it was the clean shave, but I was like, God, Benedict Cumberbatch is like a really hot man. Like,
he's got a great face.
He's a strangely hot gentleman.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, Phil, he definitely looked gayer.
He also, he looked gayer. I was gonna say, he looked a lot like Peter.
It was when I realized that it might have been like the second time I watched it, where I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, they're spitting images, and him like going to Yale looking like that and doing his weird classics and shit, it's like, oh, this guy was Peter 100%. Like a little genius at the banjo and all his genius things.
Yep. And his prissy little clothes.
Prissy little clothes. Oh my god, when Peter struts down in those like jeans, that was his vibe.
Yep.
It's like, oh my god. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Lindsay. I love that take.
Disrespect.
Disrespect.
So why don't you go ahead and throw us some recommendations for some similar work? So it can be similar themes, similar director. Like what's some recommendations you have for our listeners?
We talked about Talented Mr. Ripley, but for some reason I thought of American Beauty. How do you guys feel about that? Well, I think there's some closeted
the repression
stuff going on in there, but I also think it's
and
one
lusting
of those,
after a young like high schooler,
weird type of movies like that.
Repressed family story. Okay,
lots
I
of
wasn't
imagery.
seeing it. I wasn't seeing it at first, but now yes, that makes sense.
I get that. Yeah, I like the thought of that. It's very like thematic. Like there's so many themes going on in the whole thing, and it's kind of a dismantling of masculinity too. I totally get it. I can see this.
It's a weird take on grooming.
Yeah, it is.
No, I like that recommendation for sure. For me, I've already spoken about all three of them, but definitely Paul Thomas Anderson's Phantom Thread.
Yes.
Which I won't give away why.
Love it.
But for very similar themes, as far as how that relationship ends up.
Oh my god.
So romantic. It's so sick. I love
it. I guess it is. It actually is.
Listen, the Scorpio in me says yes.
Slay. Oh my god.
And then I also, of course, would recommend There'll Be Blood. Again, the Jonny Greenwood music, similar time period, very similar take on masculinity and repression and finding your, you had mentioned in the notes, Hallie, finding your twin flame, like your equal who ends up completely fucking taking you down. And that's how I feel about Daniel and Eli's relationship throughout that movie. It's just so juicy. One of my favorite movies of all time. We're gonna cover that one soon.
I can't wait to hear it.
Hell yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon, obviously we've already discussed it at length. That is episode 4. If you haven't checked that out already, go back through our previous episodes. I feel like Campion puts like I hate gendering it, but I feel like she has like a kind of softer touch on like a Western, and on like a toxic love story, a little more sensual, but that same kind of theme. I think they pair really well together. And again, it's similar time period of American history. And then did you have any for us, Hallie?
Yeah, we've talked about them a lot, but Brokeback, of course,
for sure.
It's really a beautiful film and like such a fantastic exploration of a lot of these themes, but I'd say probably even more in the queerness aspect. Not that this isn't, but like I don't know, it zeroes in on that a little more, I think.
Yeah, it's a little more explicit.
But it's a love story, and it's like an actual like beautiful love story. Like I don't know if this is a beautiful love story per se.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say that. Mm-hmm.
Nah. But and then this is random, but Strange Darling is a movie that came out last year, and it plays with the chapters of and violence and kind of like the mystery aspect that this plays into. This is fully linear. That's not, but highly recommend. It was a great watch last year. And then this is gonna sound so out of whack, but there's a new movie out called Companion, and it rules. And it's a lot like this other movie, Ex Machina, famous. But both of those just have the masculine femininity suppression themes going on. I wonder why I wonder why we're so interested in this right now. But it's also like kind of shocking that we're still like
still a thing.
We're still talking about it.
We just covered Steven Spielberg's AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah.
And we spoke about Ex Machina a lot during that episode. And I haven't seen Companion yet, but I've heard it's again another kind of complex story about technology and trying to control it and trying to replace humans with machines and like the pitfalls
Absolutely.
of that. Yeah, and I wouldn't have thrown those out there as far as relating them to this story, but that is interesting. It makes sense. I think I was just thinking of those stories more from like a technological
totally.
standpoint.
It's funny. I was like trying to think of something that wasn't those, and then I was like, but this is the feminine masculine thing.
The feminine masculine, they're definitely at odds in those stories for sure.
Yeah, we're still suppressing and like not sure how to be balanced in it or really feminine, and like it's like really weird. It's making us do some crazy ass shit, which I think is
so
why
stressful.
I love this movie, is because it's like, don't suppress, you'll go crazy. It's sad, but it's like you might just like you might get thrown into a frenzy where you end up hurting someone. But at the same time, Phil had to die. Causing your own demise is more the thing, because Phil had to die. But he had to go. But
he had to go.
He had to go. It happens. Sometimes, as I like to say, sometimes murder is necessary. I'm kidding, but
allegedly,
I allegedly am saying that. This is gonna bite me so hard one day. I'm gonna be in a legal situation.
She's innocent of all charges.
I'm innocent. I've done nothing wrong.
Never has, never will.
Never have, never will. Indeed. But I love the themes that play with that, and so yeah, that's those are mine. It's so funny to say that.
I think they're inspired choices. I like that we all kind of went with different like time periods too. Lindsay went 90s. You went a little more modern, and then I did period pieces from around the same. Yeah, look at that.
We're
nice
chronological.
little spread there.
What a great combination.
Yeah. This was not only a great combination, this was a great conversation. Thank you so much for you see what I did there.
That was smooth.
Thank you so much for coming on, Hallie.
Oh my god,
can you tell us what your plug your projects? What do you got going on right now?
Oh my god, it's so you guys are amazing. Truly, thank you so much for finding me, and I feel found, and bringing me on here.
Baby.
This is a delight, and I can't wait for more, especially Oscar's tea, which
Hell yeah.
is out of order, but that's fine. So I do a lot of New York shows with a comedy group called Watch Party. On Instagram, it is Watch Partay. So Partayy. Partay. For some reason, party was taken, so we had to go partay.
Of course it was.
But we are doing a show next week. It's fine. We're doing a show. We do shows every now and then, so follow us on Instagram. We're always at the Rad NYC, which is a Dumbo Brooklyn club. It's wonderful, and you should come down. It's free with 2 drinks.
And then, are you doing any stand-up, any improv, any?
Not really. My Watch Partay group is my stand-up and improv, which is
there you go.
It's all movies based. Like I said, I'm a thirsty nerd, so we do a lot of games and interaction and comedy during movies. So we're doing Legally Blonde for Valentine's Day.
Fun.
But we're gonna do like 10 Things I Hate About You, and we're gonna do White Lotus finale when it airs. So we're gonna do fun stuff like that. But it is a blast and a half. And bring your dates, bring your friends, bring your situationships. We include everybody.
Beautiful. Thanks again to Hallie Platts for chatting with us. I cannot believe this is probably going to be our longest episode. And I've said that every episode. That's not an insult.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. Do not apologize. This is gold. We are giving you fucking gems.
It's good.
Exactly.
This was the delight of my 2025. So listen, like,
we're honored. I love to hear it. We will gladly have you back.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Honored myself. You guys rock. Also, Post Film Clarity, the funniest podcast name. Every time I've told someone
Thank you.
this pod that I'm going on, they have chuckled like hell.
Thank you. That came to me off the dome. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't even know. It just came to me. It was just, touched by inspiration, whatever. But
absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. It was like a month into us recording together before Lindsay is like,
oh my God.
Oh my God. Also, oh my God, respect.
Like, Lindsay.
It's okay. I just realized the Kendrick double entendre of A minor this week.
Hallie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
It's a pun.
I went, so weak. And then my friend went, oh, Hallie, Jesus. And I went,
oh, sweetie.
You had to win the Grammy
sweetie.
For me to fucking get that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That is so funny.
I will also say, every time I've told people the name of the pod, they go, you would be going on that. And I said, thank you.
Because you found your people.
I found my people.
And we hope that people find us. Especially New York people. So thank you so much for coming on.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any socials that you want to plug besides Watch Partay? Do you want to be found? If you don't want to be found, it's fine. I just always ask.
You may always find me on Instagram posting really stupid film memes.
Yep. We'd love them.
And doing acting and doing some comedy. So it's at Just Halz, HALZ, with a little underscore at the end to be different.
Absolutely.
That's my Insta. And then Watch
special
Partay.
Little snowflake.
I'm a little special little girl.
And for us, we can be found at Post Film Clarity Pod on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We can also be found at Post Film Clarity, all one word, on Letterboxd. And please go check out our Letterboxd. I have put so much work into these damn lists I've been making for all of our recommendations. I've been linking all of our episodes in all of our recommendations. I am a Letterboxd fiend, so please check that out. Give us a follow. Post Film Clarity, all one word. Also, if you want to reach out via email, we are postfilmclaritypod@gmail.com. We would love to get your your hot takes about this movie. I want to see people's reactions to this episode. I have a feeling this is going to be a popular one.
I'm a little scared.
Why? Don't be scared.
Well, I love movies like this. These are my favorite type of movies where there's so much to speculate.
Yes, I love to speculate, bitch. We talked about Anatomy of a Fall after we saw it for like an hour.
Love it.
Yeah. I was like, what do you think? Ooh. Yeah, I love... Bitches be speculating.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I love it. Thank everybody again for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye, honeys.